Hello everybody. We're just gonna share with you guys a few things about before and after pseudo elements and how to use them. It's the first example I have. It's a p element and just a paragraph with a chunk of text. And so what we can do is we know that it's pretty basic stuff like the pseudo element. They add content before and after element. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do p. So we want to center this on page, so it's gonna be p, and then width we're gonna give it 50%, then margin just give it, because I'm gonna have 3 examples, so I'm just gonna do margin, where's percent, margin 5%, auto. So okay, let's check what we have. Okay, so okay, margin auto, and then we give it a class of special, so we do p and then special, and then before. So I'm just using all the syntax for CSS 2.1. So it's one column here. So we put before, and then when I put say content, just let's put it before. And then I'm gonna give it color and font weight. So color, let's do green. Font weight, we do bold. Okay, so this should insert the word before before this paragraph with the class special here in this paragraph. And we can do the same manner, we can do after. So it's p and then special after. So we want to insert the word after, so it's gonna be after, and then we put color. Just gonna copy and paste this one just as an example, just as a refresher what it does. Okay, let's save it and see what we have. So it's width 50%, margin 5, top, bottom, and left, right, after. It should center. Let's see. Okay, so we have it center here, this one. So yeah, basically, so the element, it inserts the element before the content and after. So it works with the direct children. So with the block quote, we can also use it to insert like those block quote signs. Open quote, it's called open quote, and close quote. Say, let's try this. So block quote, we're also gonna do it, give it width 50%, width 50%, margin 5 and outer. 5 auto, and we can just copy and paste block quote before, then content. We can do content, and then you just put open quote, and let's do the same, color green. And then I'm just gonna copy and paste this and change it to after, and this one's gonna be close quote. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, so yeah, so basically it can be used to insert like block quotes on the text. So, but there's an interesting technique in the third example that I wanted to share with you guys. I just came across this a technique today, and I guess for some of you it's not a new technique, but because it was new to me, and I just decided why not share it with other folks. And I will post a link to this technique where I found it, and check out the link below the video. Okay, so basically for this one we have a section here with the class of banner and h1 hello world just inside this container. Okay, so, and basically this technique allows you to use a pseudo element to create an image overlay, which could be an interesting technique for the website banner. um, let's take a look here. So first what I'm gonna do create a banner here, just a banner, insert the banner image as a background, I'm just gonna copy this link here, then we give it a background size cover, and so what it does, background size cover, it covers the whole container. Background image, it covers the entire container. So next property we're gonna give is padding. Padding, we're gonna give 20% top and bottom, and 0% left and right. So what in this case, what padding is doing, it because section is a block level element, and we know that the background of the element box, it kind of extends to the outer edge of this element, and it fills the content, the padding and the border areas. So by adding this padding, we're actually making sure that it's fills out the image, fills out the whole container. Okay, that's padding. And then let's actually take a look. Let's save and then take a look what we have here. Okay, yeah, so now we have this image which felt like the container, but the image filling the padding 20% that we gave, it's filling it. So after the padding, we're gonna do text align to center the H1 text. Text align center, and yeah, and just out of the just out of curiosity, let's just do the border just to see the how the image filling out the available space because of this padding. Um, we're gonna do, just for the experiment purposes, I'm gonna give like a 10 pixel padding, dashed, and green. Okay, so just save, and what we're gonna see the image filling the whole container. It would also be transparent, like because it's dashed padding, so you will see the image. Let me actually show you here. You see, this is the image, and it actually filling the all the padding area, even though the area of the border, which is the visible area of the element box. So this one we can just remove, we don't need it. It was just to show you that how it works. So next, what we're gonna do, position relative. Actually, sorry, not position relative, we're gonna do banner, and then after. So this is where this pseudo element comes in. We do after, and we do content. So this this content, this rule content, was actually it's actually creates like an empty element. So it actually creates an element inside of banner after the content of banner. It inserts blank element. Okay, so and then we do display block. Display block. So because by default this is like an inline element, but we do display block so to make it block element, block level, and so we can give it width and height. Width 100%, again to make it fill the whole width of the container, entire container, and the height 100%. And again, this element, this pseudo element, we're using it to create a overlay box, that the box that will be the overlay over the image. Okay, so we give it the width and the height 100%. Then we give it a background color. I give it dark olive green, something like that. And then we position as absolute. And this is absolute with regards to the let me see here. Yeah, it positions this element with regards to, absolutely positioned with regards to its parent, and in this case this is the body element. So we give it position absolute. Okay, and top and left 0, top 0 and left 0. And then let's take a look here what we have. Let's save. Okay, now we have this box, it's covering the image. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this. So to see that how it's covering the image, that actually it's actually covering the image, we're gonna give it the opacity. Let's put it 3. Okay, save. Let's take a look again. Opacity. Okay, now we have to position this banner relative. Let's position it relative, basically position relative without any any offsets. It just positions relative to itself. Okay, let's take a look if we have any changes here. Okay, you see now, yeah, it's now relative to itself, and as you might noticed, as you might have noticed that the image has changed. So this is actually already with overlay. If I remove this, like say for example this one, okay, let's take a look. Okay, here you go, you see there's no overlay. So this is our original image, and now this is gonna be with overlay and with opacity set to 3. Okay, let's save. Yeah, this is kind of a nice warm effect it gives to the image, and yeah, so you can play with the opacity settings and do it the way that you like. um, yeah, but there's also something with the the text, so that we cannot properly highlight the hello world text. So let's try. Okay, it's not properly highlighting, and to fix this we need to add a z index. So z index we add here. So to z index we put 0 on this one, and we're gonna create so the z index 0 here will make our overlay box sit between the image and the h1, but we have to create one more rule here. So this rule is this. It's gonna be banner, then universal selector, basically select all descendants of the banner, and we're gonna give it position relative, so they sit relative to itself. This is because that index works only with positioned element. And this one we're gonna give that index 10, and we let's try. Let's save this and let's see what we have. Okay, so now the text is selectable. You can select it. Okay, and just we can also now change the text color. Let's change it to white. Yeah, so this is this kind of interesting usage of pseudo element after, in this case, to create this kind of effect of the banner, like a banner image. As you see, it gives the very subtle touch of that, like I would say, even like a warm colors. So you can play with the opacity, and yeah. So if you guys like it, um, I'm glad I was able to share it with you. And again, if I made any mistakes, or if you think if you want to add something, you're welcome to post any comments below the video. And again, guys, yeah, mm, you can check. I'm gonna post the link to this to the resource, the website where I found this technique. And it also there, you can find more on this technique, because in the original version the author also adds some linear gradient, which looks pretty cool too. Again, just to review, um, again, first we add the background image, background size cover to cover the container. Padding, we put padding 20%, and this padding makes it sets padding on section element. And the way padding works, so the background image fills out the whole container, and the padding area also. Okay, this one content, this next rule. So this declaration, this whole thing, it yeah, creates the empty, like a pseudo element, which we by default it's inline, but we put it to block and give it width and height 100%, so it fills the whole container section. We give it color, then we position it to absolute, top 0, left 0, and we give it opacity. And the banner itself, we just position it to relative to itself, so it stays in place. And yeah, and then we use the banner and this universal selector, like descendant, um, the universal selector, and we put position relative, z index 10, which brings it on the first, like up, which makes it on top of all other elements. So in this case, in the case of this technique, the because of those z indexes, uh, the overlay box, it sits between the image and the h1. So this box overlay, that creates this rule that creates the overlay box, this one, it sits between the image, because image at the background, and then this box, and then this one is for h1. Okay, so I hope it was helpful, guys. Again, check the link, and if you have any comments, again, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe I used something incorrectly here, you're welcome to put your comments, and you're welcome to correct me. Okay, but if you find this technique helpful, like the video, and thank you for watching.